Hello, strangelings. Welcome back to the parlor. As you can see, I've got my incense going. Of course, there was some massive mistake I made, but I hadn't even started the reading yet, so it's fine. It's fine, guys. All right. So, of course, you guys know you're here at the parlor for a reading. Yay! Let's go in here. Now, when you guys get personal readings, it might not quite look like this. It kind of depends on whether my OBS wants to agree with Discord or not, honestly. Because sometimes I can actually get a reading done on Discord doing both cameras, and sometimes Discord does not like both cameras. I've only I have tried one really good reading with both cameras on Discord. It did actually go off without a hitch pretty much, but then later I was actually trying to show something, and I was showing both my face and my hands just because, and it didn't want to do both cameras, or do anything with the OBS. So yeah, hopefully if you guys do get a personal reading, it'll look like this, but I can't really guarantee it. I'll do the best I can. At the very least, you'll have, give me 1 second, I'll show you. At the very least, you guys will have this shot right here. You won't be able to see what my face is doing, which I don't really like all that much, but it kind of all depends on whether the OBS wants to agree with Discord during the reading. So, but do book your reading, guys. Remember, it's one reading per day because of what it actually takes to do the reading. I honestly don't know how readers can do one reading per hour. And believe me, it's not because I don't know how to do it well. I've been doing it since I was 3 years old. And I've been constantly told how accurate I am. Whether I am or not, it's for you to decide. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and get into the loud part. Of course, you guys know, with every weekly reading, we have to pull our beads so that I can call out, give little hints to who I'm talking to, a little bit more than what just the cards would, you know? Let's get to it. I have to have the one eye open so that I could see where my microphone was so I could unmute. As always, I have a spiral going in my head, let me tell you. Anti-clockwise, by the way, if anybody wonders, most of my spirals go anti-clockwise. I think that's more than 3, and I didn't even get a chance to tap it. So, oh yes, that's definitely more than 3, guys. You know what? This metal bead, I think it just wants to be taken out. I've got this weird metal E-bead again. Weird metal-ish E-bead again. And, I will be actually taking it out after this reading because there's no... I can't see a significance to anything else. I can't figure out what I would pull from that as far as, hey, this could be somebody who likes this. On the other hand, I could figure out what I could pull from something like this, which is literally a cross with a rose weaved in through it, you know? I could see a few things that that could mean as far as what you might like. Okay, so we have a V. We have an F in kind of a powder blue. I am going to go ahead and put this on the description as a light blue. And then we have this red dog bone. And we have a pink kitty cat charm. Specifically a kitty cat charm in the style of a poodle skirt from the 50s and 60s. So those are your beads. Those are whoever I am talking to are going to identify pretty strongly with those beads. So now on to the reading, guys. And I do have my window cracked a little bit. I don't know if you guys heard my neighbors earlier, but my window is cracked a little bit, so if you guys hear my neighbors, they're just doing their stuff. Their usual thing. Just living their lives. So this week it's nice and warm. Last week, Tuesday specifically, I was going up into the mountains and it was rainy down here, and in the mountains it was supposed to flurry at some point after we left. We left around the time it was supposed to flurry. So it's warm now. Hopefully this will be the trend and we'll get a normal summer. This slight pain here in my hand. My wrists for the last few months have slowly been deteriorating, worse than they were before. So I can do the card readings. It doesn't hurt my hands too bad to do the card readings because it's not that intensive on the wrist itself. But for sure, my projects, including my hair, by the way, are kind of slow going. So I did get one recently done. I was kind of proud of that. But I am essentially trying to find a new balance. I am reworking a lot of things in my life, including my diet, to include far more actual foods instead of manufactured foods, and so on and so forth. It has been the thing that, as I have slowly transitioned into it over the last few years, around 5 to be precise, we've transitioned to all kinds of all natural living style things. And as I have done so, I've started to feel better. But the deterioration was always going to happen. I was born with severe pain issues, joint issues, a heart murmur, sensitivities, severe sensitivities. Actually, I was surprised that I didn't burn as much as I didn't while I was in Florida. I burnt. It was a pretty good burn, and the sensation of the burn lasted the entire trip. But, I mean, it wasn't excruciating. That was a bonus. That was kind of new. I guess I'm just getting used to the burn. After 40 years of experiencing burn from the sun, I guess I'm just getting used to it. It's the only thing I can imagine. Don't mind me, guys. I'm I'm draining my tea flower here. This one is a jasmine white today. And for anybody who knows tea, you know what that means. For anybody who does not, a white tea is using the most immature tea leaves so that you get a very light color and hardly any caffeine. I'm not usually a white tea drinker. This was a gift, and he didn't realize that he could get green and black tea sets of these bomb teas. It's still really hot, guys. And I forgot to bring over any water, so bear with me as I try to get my throat a little not so dry. If this cup had come with a coaster, you guys would get to see the actual official use, the real reason coasters exist. But I don't have a coaster that came with this cup. I have considered doing it with the lid, though. And if you're wondering, yes. So coasters were actually originally made so that you could pour out some of the tea onto the coaster and drink it off the coaster while it's still hot. Because it was always considered that the best flavors in tea are experienced when the tea is still quite hot. Now, of course, we know that we actually want to have most of our things that we ingest not to be piping hot, but more like lukewarm, maybe a touch warmer than lukewarm, but to have it piping hot can do actual damage to the actual tissues within your throat, your mouth, and so on and so forth. That, and we also know that all things have slightly different flavors at different temperatures because of the way the chemicals react with each other. Oh my god, guys, I'm giving you science and cards. I am deeply bohemian, what can I say? Okay. Sorry for that little tea break, guys. I needed to make sure my throat was nice and moist because it's not an easy task for me to keep everything moist in my body. I've never retained fluids very well. So, well, I've never retained fluids in anywhere but my bladder very well. I was known in high school for going the entire day without actually having to pee on many, many, many occasions. And it was mainly because I was too malign. I was in quite a melancholy at the time that I wouldn't even pay any attention to whether I needed to go to the bathroom or not. And so when I did go to the bathroom after school at friends' houses, generally I'd be in there for quite a few minutes just to empty my bladder out. And they'd be like, did you just take one in my bathroom and stink up the place? Because I take so long. All right. Into our cards, guys. Okay. So, I am talking to someone who... oh, let me get this out of our way. I am so sorry. I didn't realize it would be in the way of the cards, but there you have it. I mean, it's bad enough the beads are in the way of the cards, guys. Okay, so I am talking to someone who, at the beginning of what you need the answer, what you need this reading for, You might not need an answer. You might have a warning or have some advice unsolicited coming. I don't know. Here, let me get my hair out of my way, guys. Sorry. It does tend to be in my way just a little bit. Okay. It's a little quick. So you were in a position of an emperor. I'm so sorry, guys. Hold on. One moment. Let me put my phone in airplane mode so that we don't have interruptions again. Sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. That is just terribly irresponsible of me to continue to forget to put my phone in airplane mode. I only need to have it over here because at the end I do my layout photo for you guys. Anyhow. Interruption. It's all interruptions, guy. This... me. Recenter myself here. Now, when I say recenter myself, I mean bring myself back to the center, not put myself in the center of my world. I'm already there. I was born there. As were you born in the center of your own world. Anyway. So. To the person I am reading this for. Being that you. Whatever this is about. You started your situation as an emperor. You were in an emperor's. Today I'm not holding the cards very well, I guess. You were in an emperor position. You were patiently growing your abundance in your emperor position. And you were getting ready to move your life forward. So, you were making the right moves. You were using the right fertilizer. Lord, have mercy today. I'm telling you guys. It's Memorial Day, so I, of course, have certain people on my mind, particularly my grandfathers, both of them. They were both soldiers, but my paternal grandfather, he was in the army for 20 years. Both of them came back different. One came back as someone who would turn into an alcoholic. The other one came back as someone with PTSD who was smart enough when he saw what had happened to me to be able to turn his PTSD into a tool to teach me how to deal with mine. So it's kind of what's on my mind personally today, so don't mind me. I'm a little klutzy when things are on my mind. Okay. Okay. So. This is an advice. This is a very quick one today. I don't feel any need to go pulling anything but the confirmation cards. I mean, I know I've been using other cards as confirmation cards when there's nothing else really to, or when there is more to be found out, but there doesn't feel like there is anything else to find out today. This really does feel like it is a bit of a warning. And this is something, if we were face to face, I would look at you and I would tell you this, and then I'd ask you what you want to do past this, because the truth is, yeah, once I've read this, there's not much more to read. So what we have here is, it's a bit of a warning. Of course, this is past you up till now. This is always how I read it. The first three are the past you up until now. The last four that I pulled, because I always do a straight 7-card draw, the last four I pull are moving forward into your future. I see that you still have some skirmishes. Quite an interesting amount of scrimmages ahead. I don't know exactly how much, but it's enough to make the bounty you earn a bit lackluster in your own mind, right? You are going to have the temptation to then go on to the fool's journey. Being in this emperor position, you may feel that way. Something completely different, something you haven't done yet. But there will be a decision to be made should you go on this fool's journey. Should you begin again. Because a fool's journey is beginning again. You see, the Emperor, he starts off any reading with everything he needs. But the Fool, he only has this pack on the back. He has his walking stick. He has his travel pack, his bindle, as they call it. He has a happy, sunshiny demeanor, looking optimistically towards the future as the same spirit as that yippy dog at his ankle. You, as the Fool, carry everything you need, but you only carry what you need with you. So it is a starting over, and you will have a very, 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 very big choice to make. 2 of Swords in the Rider White has almost always come up for me as someone who has a decision to make and maybe does not quite even fully understand what that decision entails. And that honestly jives quite well with the Fool card, because of course the Fool card is, again, someone who only carries what they need with them and has everything they need within them. So you can see what is within you. You know what is within you. But the blind part here, that is knowing what is without you in this decision, or outside of you, if you don't necessarily understand Old English very well. I know that's not very Old English to say without you as in outside of, but it's fine. Anyway, yeah, you'll have a decision to make, and they don't really hold on, I don't feel like I need to continue this reading any further. I feel like this is as much information, but I want to see if maybe, just maybe, there is some kind of clue as to what decision is what. So let me see if by a majority, let me see if these cards have any more information they can bring out for us. Yes. No, 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 no. Come on. That wasn't a flip. That was just a shake. No. I'm shaking around to randomize which side I start on because it's so heavy that I have a lot of trouble doing an actual flip. Of course, the coin likes to prove me wrong when I say it, so. Yes. The consensus is yes, there is more to say. It's like, it's the sensation of, as I am describing, I had to pick up the other half of the coin holder. Unlike my hubby, I don't want my coin to get scratched up, so I leave it in his holder. Yeah, so essentially, as I was looking at the cards, as I was describing the sensations that these cards are giving me as to what I should and should not be reading out of them. Again, I read from my brain by looking at the picture, analyzing what's in my head for the pictures that have come together. Question is, though, which deck? Right or white doesn't feel... You know what? The deck that feels like it needs to be out right now is actually Faunabella. Not the... Wait. Faunabella? Oh, the Faunabella... I missaid it the other day. I called the Faunabella... I said Faunabella when I was doing the other cards. I don't remember what deck that was now. This is the Faunabella. The used to be, I consider these my inner child cards. That's my Faunabella. These are the ones that give my wrists so much problems, and I'm working on getting them to bend on their own, so... I'm doing real shuffling like usual. I'm bending them as I get that far because it's not as easy as it looks. It's a very stiff card. This cardstock is thick. So the question I believe that we are still asking is about the choice. Is there anything we need to know about the choice? Okay. So yeah. What we got here is the Empress, the Two of Cups. No, I'm sorry, not the Two of Cups. Ah, I forgot to count the bubbles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups. So, if we take out the other Rider-Waite deck... We take out the other Rider-Waite deck. I mean, it's a little bit enhanced image-wise compared to the original. However, this is the 9 of Cups. So the proud man with his trophies, right? That's what we are seeing here, but slightly different. And then we got the Fool card coming out again. Remember, my Bonabella has 2 of these Fool cards. So it would appear to me the decision is you go on the Fool's journey. Almost immediately you'll end up having a decision to make. There is an Empress coming in. There's an Empress coming in. This Empress is proud. She's welcoming. She's humble. She's all of those things. All of the things that make a really good partner. She's the kind of partner who will make your life easy or easier. She's the kind of partner you can proudly have by your side no matter where you're at. She's the kind of partner who you can guarantee you don't have to worry about your heart with. But then there's also the Fool's path, and you can't have both. So your choice here is between the Empress and the Fool's path. The Fool's path, remember, must be walked alone. We cannot walk the Fool's path with anyone else with us, because the Fool's path is what is the best way to describe the Fool's path? The Fool's path is the world is my classroom. I nothing else I can say. The Fool's path is like any respectable Bohemian gypsy, is a human being who chooses to allow the world to show them lessons. Taking the Fool's path is actively choosing to not only go to places where those lessons are most likely to be found, but it is also choosing to go through the lesson, even if it's severe hardship, to feel what it's like to live through that, and then to process it into a learning experience for you, and maybe even for those that you might encounter that you might share it with. A fool's journey is one that is guaranteed to be pretty much a lonely path. I mean, there are going to be people you meet along the way during a fool's journey, no matter what. You will meet people who you end up striking up friendships with, even if they're short-lived. You will end up meeting people who you will become quick frenemies. And you will meet people who you cannot suffer to save your own life. But none of them will have that feeling of deeply connected, and this connection is for you, as well as them, and possibly even other people. But, you know, you won't get that personally deeply connected sensation from any of the people you meet on a fool's journey. Can you start a fool's journey when you have like significant others in your life? Of course. However, those people will even if just for temporary, unfortunately fall away. It is part of the... we were watching a show the other day where a character in the show was talking about this curse he has, and he was told that this other person who is also cursed prefers to see the blessings in it. Well, part of the fool's curse is a feeling of loneliness. Part of the reason why they act so foolishly so often around people when they are around people is because no one is connecting with them, so they are rather on the lonely side. Now, of course, this fool is not the same kind of fool as a jester or a king's man, as it were. This is more of, for any Doctor Who fans, this is more of Patrick Troughton's flute-playing version of the Doctor, where he acted like the most foolish man in the room so that he would be taken less seriously, so that he would be more able to do more help. It's more like that kind of fool. Only embracing the lunacy and ludicrous behavior a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and do some confirmation cards right here really quick for you guys. This reading, like I said before, it was pretty cut and dry. It's just that kind of put this little flasher light in my head of, I think maybe that one needs a little bit more clarification. That one feels like it has something else behind it. It had telling you what we're going to be doing for a decision. It's giving you advice that you have to make a decision. You have to decide which one. That's what that card's about. That's not telling you that she's a full package kind of empress. Because she's the empress, of course she's the full package. The Nine of Cups here is actually asking you which one you value more. Having this empress enter your life, or going on that fool's journey. Now, I could say more about it, but unfortunately, I'm pretty sure the thing that I would say more about is probably going to have you more along the lines of making it harder to make a decision. So I won't say more about it. Okay, take you. You are way too much, but we'll take the one that hit the table. All right. One more card. So this confirmation actually might be something about why you think you want to go onto the Fool's Journey here soon to begin with. So... that was far from you. That is all in my lap, guys. It all fell like this. So we are going to do this. I'm going to put that there. On the very edge. Okay. I couldn't tell you which one landed first. I think it was this one. So I would say this is halfway between near and far. So you might actually be currently in a relationship. 47, the bride. The bride ensures for a single person the fulfillment of their highest aims when near. When distant, turbulent married life. This was somewhere in the middle. You might be someone who is already in a relationship, and perhaps this is what these skirmishes and lackluster gains are about. Perhaps you are having marital issues, or have had marital issues. 38, the flame. Flames on the hearth indicate good fortune, neutralizes the evil of near-lying unlucky cards, and increases the volume of lucky ones. Okay. So, and down here, hit my lap, past the Fool card. 39. The heart. The heart signifies great joy when near. Now, it has no far, so near is anytime it comes out. Now, of course, if I was doing these cards the way I should be doing them, it'd be a 52 card pickup from right there above your head, and it would literally mean if near. So if this was one of the far cards, I'd have to flip it out, right? But that's not the case. The case is I'm using them as confirmation cards, and I'm only tossing them, and it tossed out. So you have great joy in the Fool's journey. If we go by where it landed on the cards, then we would have to do this. You have a flame on the hearth that indicates that you have good fortune. And it has a tendency to neutralize the things that happen around you that are negative. It has a tendency to amplify your good luck. Then, this fulfillment of your highest aims, yet just a slight bit of turbulent marriage, whether that be an agreement with someone or not. But great joy. You see great joy potential in the Fool's journey. So this Empress, am I to read this as someone in your life currently? I tell you what I do for you guys. No. No, that's 2 no's. So that means we're already at consensus. So this Empress is not currently in your life. So whatever distressing thing is going on here with this partnership, this marriage, whatever it is, it's not the same. So whatever that this Empress who is coming in as a choice is not going to be the same type of situation in the first place. I know I said I wasn't going to get much clarity for those two choices because I don't want to make the decision even harder for you. But I did want to just note that specifically, because if there is some kind of an arrangement, whether it's a marriage or a business partnership, this partnership that you are currently in, even if it's a partnership with a business, you know, you have a business contract or something, it's kind of almost rocky-ish. And that rocky-ish nature definitely has you more on the edge. You're a little bit worried about it. You don't really have to worry about it too much because you do have the flames of the hearth, which kind of reduce your negative luck and bolster your positive luck a little bit, at least in this situation, right? And you definitely have fulfillment of your goals, and you definitely have this joy coming in. The only thing is once you get to that point where you decide you're going on that fool's journey, if you're not already at that point by the time you find this video, you're going to have these options. You're going to have the option either to continue on the fool's journey or to allow your Empress to come in to start to help do some work in your life and things like that, you know. Now, of course, I know everybody says this ad nauseum. There is no gender when it comes to tarot. And it's not because you could be either, or you could be one but identify as the other. No, it's because there's no such thing as gender in nature. No one in any species is pure male or pure female. So the tarot has no gender. So you might be the female in this situation, you might be the male in this situation. It doesn't really matter at all. You are currently, up until now, in a position where you are someone who your community sees as someone of status, someone of authority, someone of someone to look up to, I guess. And the person coming in that you will have the choice about, well, they are of a nurturing nature. They are of a creative mindset. And your decision is which of the two situations would be more of a prize to you. Would it be to have an Empress by your side? Or would it be to go on that fool's journey and find out what, as that fool, you need to learn from the universe? And the truth is, no one can make that decision but you. There's no collective identity for us to be like, well, some of you will decide one way or some of you will decide another. Because y'all know, I've been doing this since I was 3 years old. And in 1983, we did not read for collectives. And it was not because we did not have a way to reach an entire collective. I promise you. So, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to go ahead and take this layout photo for you guys so that you can see exactly what it is. And I'm going to get my day going, because really, honestly, I've done a little bit of business today. I had a bit of business to take care of because of a situation that happened last week. But I haven't really got my day started for myself. So guys, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day out there and continue to have a wonderful day. As always, it doesn't matter who you are, I love you. Take care of each other. And I'll see you guys in the next one.